Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Kinzinger was censured by Will County Republicans. So Republicans in Illinois censured one of the most vocal never-Trumpers, who, by the way, according to 538, voted alongside President Trump 90% of the time. 90.2% of the time. How is this possible in this day and age? You have the internet, and it's like all of that information, and still people are ignorant. And still a congressman who pretends to be a never-Trumper, or he is a never-Trumper, but it's like he voted alongside President Trump 90.2% of the time, according to 538, tracking Congress in the age of Trump. They haven't changed the title. It's President Biden now, and it's still tracking Congress in the age of Trump. I guess it was last updated January 13th, so before the 20th. But here, Trump score. How often Kinzinger votes in line with Trump's position? 90.2%. Republican representative for Illinois' 16th district. Now, he was rightfully censured by the Republican Party for siding with Democrats on impeachment when President Trump did not tell anyone or authorize anything or compel anyone. Unfortunately, you have people who engage in criminal conduct and who did the most. I mean, it was a tragedy. Those 5 people should be alive today. That officer and that woman and those other people should be alive today. But Adam Kinzinger, along with Democrats and Mitt Romney and Ben Sasse, they've blamed President Trump as if Trump spoke into like a homing beacon within the minds of these people. And you have him voting alongside President Trump 90.2% of the time. Interestingly enough, he's this big never-Trumper. March 11th, 2020, voted against, he opposed restricting President Trump from taking military action. Hold on one second. No, sorry. That was not, that's actually good. So, no. He opposed, well, actually, yeah, he was against restricting President Trump from taking military action without congressional approval. So he opposed that. And then he opposed restricting, again, January 9th. So March 11th and January 9th, he opposed restricting President Trump from taking military action without congressional approval. And I'm not going to get too much into the detail. But you would think if you were this big never-Trump Republican that you would want to curtail allowing President Trump. So this is interesting. He opposed legislation preventing Trump from unilaterally taking military action. If you are a true, if you try to paint yourself as this never-Trump Republican, why would you oppose that? I'm just asking. And by the way, I'm against the authorization for use of military force for any president. I think the AUMF should be completely scrapped and removed from, from the powers of a president. But these two resolutions were not linked to the AUMF, I believe. But anyway, my point is you can go to tracking Congress in the age of Trump, 538. He voted 90.2%, but this is the type of case. I'll read you. He voted 90% in line with President Trump, yet he's the big never-Trump Republican in Illinois. This is after the Lincoln Project completely imploded. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. We have wonderful live streams around 7 p.m. Pacific every day. We had a great one just an hour ago or 2 hours ago. Hit subscribe. We're back on our way to 200,000 subscribers. Let me read you this. Will County Republicans censure Kinzinger and landslide voter censure as a formal rebuke against his unilateral actions to raise money and go against over 74 million Americans, the Will County GOP said. The Will County Republican Party issued a news release Saturday evening announcing its Central Committee voted Thursday to censure the actions of Congressman Adam Kinzinger, the six-term Republican who represents the 16th District of Illinois. Representative Kinzinger's feelings about former President Donald J. Trump is well known. We witnessed the support and then subsequent bashing of President Trump after he refused to appoint Kinzinger as the Secretary of the Air Force. So there you go. The last straw was Kinzinger's unconstitutional impeachment support against Donald Trump that quickly escalated to attacks on other duly elected Republicans in the Senate and Trump supporters. Congressman's launching of a political action committee to go after conservative, patriotic Republicans demonstrates he no longer represents the 9,000-plus voters in Will County portion of the district that supported President Trump. He disregarded other elected Republican voters' wishes across the United States in furtherance. So you have, and then Kinzinger says something absurd on Twitter. Oh, thanks for playing, and my constituents voted more so for me than Trump's. Like, so what? So what? You're a Republican in a blue state, one of the bluest. Illinois is run by a Democratic machine. Chicago, New York, and L.A., or I should say California, Illinois, and New York are run by Democratic machines. All right. You voted alongside. Why did I spend 5 minutes on the fact that he voted alongside President Trump 90% of the time? You're talking about a political... Look, Adam Kinzinger might be a courageous person. He's, done great things in his life. I respect him for, being a veteran, and you know what? Totally respect his contributions to society and to the country. Politically, I say this with all due respect, the man is kind of a fake and phony politically. You vote alongside Trump 90% of the time. Don't try to pretend that you are going up against Trump and you are like this lone voice and you're standing up against a despot or a tyrant. You wanted to work alongside President Trump. You wanted to be one of the top, you wanted to be a top official in the military after he refused to appoint Kinzinger as Secretary of the Air Force. Okay, whether that's true or not, I don't know. Whether he's going after Trump because he wasn't appointed, I don't know. But he's getting media love and attention, just like Ben Sasse and Mitt Romney and Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, and other never-Trumpers. You saw what happened to the Lincoln Project. And he's starting a political action committee. The man is there's going to be millions upon millions being funneled into the PAC. And the way PACs work, the way you enrich yourself, or the way it's legal graft. You can't take political action committee money and stuff it in your pocket. You'd go to jail. You can't take that money, although 50% of the Lincoln Project, $50 million of the $90 million was reported to have gone to Lincoln Project companies that were owned by its co-founders. That's what is being reported. But let's say you have this is the way it works. You have a political action committee. You need a consultant. So you hire a business that just happens to be run by a friend of yours, or maybe more than a friend, and you can look up how AOC and her team utilized millions, because it's been reported that a lot of money went to companies that, you shouldn't, if you raise money for a political PAC, that money shouldn't go to companies you're associated with. But Adam Kinzinger is starting a political action committee. So he's going to need strategic consulting. And so he hires a political consulting firm. He might know the person, he might not, but guess what? Very likely that strategic consulting firm is going to know a publisher. At very least, a top literary agent or a publisher. Adam Kinzinger then gets a book deal. He might have already gotten a book deal. I don't know. But this is how it works. You're not pocketing any money. You're getting a lot of money from your political action committee. So you got to use the money. So you spend it on a consultant. Then you spend it on a publicist. The publicist knows a CNN producer. You're on CNN. You're getting positive coverage. You're being fawned at. They're just worshiping you and embracing your rear end. There's and then somebody associated with the PAC knows a president of a bank. Gee, you're getting that loan you always wanted. I mean, this is the PACs are networking vehicles. They're vehicles to network. That's why when you have campaigns, well, you need a venue. You need people to find those venues. You need a PAC needs technology, services. So you get tech consultants that work with politicians. And those tech consultants know, this person and that person. Oh, by the way, they know somebody who works at Twitter or Facebook, and then you get hooked up there. I'm not saying that this is definitely going to happen. I'm saying that's how you enrich yourself. That's just maybe one of a million different ways. So it's very lucrative to be a never Trump Republican. I don't remember him being a never Trump Republican in 2017, 2018. So there's probably a reason. So the Will County GOP did the right thing. Our censure is a formal rebuke against his unilateral actions to raise money. And it's true. So the Will County, the Republicans in Illinois did the right thing. They did the right thing. And it's just telling that, it's telling that this man voted alongside Trump 90.2% of the time, yet fancies himself this never Trumper, and he just happens to be running now a political action committee. It's just coincidence. Just coincidence. I mean, it is so lucrative. It is so lucrative to be against Trump even now. They said, some people said, oh yeah, you went from Bernie to Trump for money. It's like, what? That's not, it's not lucrative to be, let's put it this way. It's not lucrative to be supporting President Trump. The money is saying that he worked with Russia and that he's a despot and he's a mean person. But if he's such a despot and tyrant, why did Kinzinger vote alongside him 90% of the time? This is the problem with politics today. You have the Lincoln Project just a month before it completely imploded, a month before all the members were disgraced, running ads about how Trump's vice president should be president. And then you have Kinzinger, who voted almost always with Trump, which gets to a much wider issue. President Trump runs the GOP. He runs the Republican Party. 2 out of 3 Republican voters would go with Trump if he started a new political organization. He has 85 to 90% approval rating. He was acquitted twice. They want to say he was impeached twice? Yeah, whatever. He was acquitted twice. What happened was a tragedy in Washington, but that wasn't his fault. Okay, he didn't instruct those people. And if you want to say, I told everyone, absurd message boards are going to lead to a tragedy. And we see that happened. And it was used to silence conservative voices, or it was used to silence the voices of Trump supporters online, on the internet. And it was a political catastrophe. Mainly, the loss of life was the main thing. Those people should be alive today. They should be alive today. There should never have been protests that day. Okay, there should never have been protests. There should have been a national dialogue, discourse, debate, discussion. Okay, President Trump needs to learn from missteps, because there's a lot of accomplishments. There's a lot of things that he accomplished in terms of foreign policy. I mean, Kinzinger now is saying, oh yeah, you know what? He wanted to cozy up to Kim Jong-un. And I'm like, well, wait a second. He was the first president to step foot in North Korea. President Moon JaeIn stated that Trump deserved the Nobel Peace Prize. I think the president of South Korea knows a lot more about what happens there than Kinzinger does. I think he has a much better grasp of what happens in his own country and what's taking place with his greatest adversary than any Never Trump Republican. But, so, I mean, whatever diplomacy Trump was trying to engage pertaining to him and Kim Jong-un, it was okay with President Moon Jae-in, which is the main concern of the United States of America. South Korea is our greatest ally. I think that, if not our greatest ally in the entire world, for a number of reasons. But you look and it's like, Newsweek, Adam Kinzinger claps back at Illinois County GOP's vote to say, thanks for playing. It's like, yeah, you know what? You can be snarky. You can get social media. Twitter is going to be non-existent in 5 or 6 years. Every tweet that people have spent, if you're on Twitter trying to berate or, issue these snarky statements against your own voters. So he's going up against his own voters. Thanks for playing. More people voted for me than Trump. Well, yeah, you're in Illinois. What do you expect? You think it's because you're winning this popularity contest? You're in Illinois. You're an Illinois Republican. Okay? So you're in one of the bluest states run by a Democratic machine. And you're a Never Trumper. So you're probably going to get some Never Trump votes. You're probably going to get Democratic Party votes. Or voters, whatever. You'll get a lot of love in terms of media. And you're in a Democratic-run state. Give me your thoughts below. You're going to see politicians like Adam Kinzinger very likely. He might hold on to his seat. But if you're in a red state and you're anywhere close to being a Never Trumper, you'll be primaried, and you won't be in Congress anymore. You're going to see in 2022 there will finally be pushback. There will finally be an answer or an opposition political party. And you'll see Biden impeached immediately. So payback is you know what. Give me your thoughts below. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a political climate in the United States of America that's actually changing before our very eyes. The 2 years from now will be drastically different because they won't have President Trump to obsess over for 2 years. They'll run out of steam. Democrats will face a much greater obstacle from the left than they ever did with Trump. And the Never Trumpers will probably go the way of the Lincoln Project. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. You just wait until the controversies and scandals in Hollywood, like the moral foundation against Trump, it should be called the immoral foundation. Look at the Lincoln Project. Look at Hollywood. I'm not putting Adam Kinzinger in that category, but I will say this. For a man who voted alongside Trump 90.2% of the time, very interesting that suddenly he's this outspoken Never Trumper. Give me your thoughts. Thank you.